You know, have you ever looked at a really complex metal part, I don't know, something in your car, maybe even a kitchen gadget, and just wondered how they get it so perfect? Well, the real genius is usually hidden in the details we can't even see. So today, let's dive into one of the most brilliant, yet totally invisible design secrets in all of modern manufacturing.
It really all boils down to this one simple question, right? When you pour molten metal into some crazy intricate mold, you let it cool down and harden. How in the world do you get it out perfectly every single time without it getting completely jammed in there? Well, the answer is just, it's surprisingly elegant.
Okay, so here's the deal. The problem is just basic physics. If you have perfectly vertical 90-degree walls in a mold, that part is going to create a ton of friction, and yeah, it's going to get hopelessly stuck. But if you just add a tiny, tiny little slope, suddenly it pops right out.
And that tiny, brilliant slope? It has a name. This is the hero of our story today, the real unsung champion of mass production. It's called the draft angle.
So what is it exactly? Well, a draft angle isn't some super complicated thing. It's just a slight taper, usually only a few degrees, that's intentionally designed into the sides of a mold. You could almost think of it as a deliberate imperfection that makes perfection possible.
And here it is. This is the aha moment. Think about a regular old ice cube tray. Are those walls perfectly straight up and down? No way. They're sloped. That's a draft angle. It's the exact same simple principle that lets you pop out an ice cube with just a little twist.
But this isn't just about making things a little easier. This tiny angle gives us 5 huge benefits that are absolutely crucial for manufacturing. Let's break them down.
You see, this one small angle creates this incredible chain reaction. It all starts with getting a perfect surface finish. Why? Because you get an easy part ejection. That in turn means you get no part damage, which means way less finishing work. And the big finale? It means a much, much longer life for the super expensive molds themselves. Let's dig into those first couple of wins. First up is that perfect finish. I mean, it makes sense, right? When the part can slide out smoothly instead of being dragged and scraped against the mold wall, you avoid all those scratches, those gouges, those ugly defects. The surface comes out looking pristine, exactly how the designer wanted it.
And I mean, just look at the difference. It's absolutely dramatic. Without a draft angle, a part is literally being torn from its mold. It leaves behind this damaged, often unusable surface. But with it, you get that smooth, high-quality finish every single time.
And the second benefit? Well, it's all about the physics of a clean getaway. That tiny little angle means that the instant the part begins to move, it's not actually touching the sides of the mold anymore. This huge reduction in friction is what makes a fast, clean, and totally effortless ejection possible. So we know this little angle is a good thing, a great thing actually. But what happens when you get it wrong? Or what if you just ignore it completely? Well, the consequences are bad, they're expensive, and to be honest, they're pretty sticky.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material because you can just feel how awful that would be. I mean, just imagine that nightmare. A part made of solid metal, stuck in a mold with the same stubbornness as old chewing gum. If you try to force it out, you're going to break the part or the mold, or probably both.
And the financial stakes here are incredibly high. We're not talking about small change. A single high-precision die casting mold can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. If a part gets stuck and ruins that mold, it's not just a delay in production, it's a massive financial hit, all because of a missing 1 or 2 degree angle. It's wild.
So let's just recap that whole disaster scenario. If you don't have a proper draft angle, you're looking at broken parts, destroyed molds, costs that are going through the roof, and a ton of extra work trying to fix all the ugly surface flaws. It's a whole cascade of failure that all starts with one simple design mistake.
Which really brings us back to the big picture here. The draft angle is just a perfect example of an invisible design element that is absolutely essential to our modern world. It's quiet, it's hidden, but honestly, without it, mass manufacturing as we know it would just grind to a halt. So when you boil it all down, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? This simple little taper solves the huge problem of getting parts out of a mold. It guarantees a quality product, it protects expensive equipment, it saves companies a fortune, and it's really just a perfect example of smart, efficient design in action. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, a question for you. Now that you know about the draft angle, what else is out there?
What other tiny, brilliant, and completely invisible design choices are shaping the world all around you every single day? Because once you start looking for them, you'll start seeing them everywhere.